So what happens when you time travel and go back in time? What happens when you start making nonsense out of something that's just supposed to be sacred and valid? Where it's like folks misuse religion, folks misuse people. Okay, so I got hired for 3 jobs, actually started 2 of them. Today's May 15th. I started my other one on the 25th of May. They sent a monitor, a keyboard, laptop, headphones. So I got to set that up, which is pretty cool. And I'm expecting some money coming in this week, which is good. So following that, I'm just like saying I interviewed for another job, right? And the job that I had interviewed for was pretty awesome, where it's just like a housing property manager position, and it's really supporting and giving back to the community. Like, you're working with low income folks, and if I have the autonomy, I would, just assess them and just make sure you're doing what you're doing and what you're supposed to be doing, and that your money is being contributed in a positive manner, where it's not on alcohol, it's not on drugs, it's not on those other things, unless you have the funds to do it, right? Where I don't judge, but also like there's no point of you living somewhere where you get like dirt cheap rent. Granted, they get dirt cheap salary or whatever they get, and they have to spend it on drugs and alcohol based on just their mindset of like, I don't want to go on, or this is just what I'm going to do. So like, if I had that job, just making sure like, hey, are you doing the right thing? If you are doing the right thing, like we're able to make it work for you, but also if you're not, I see you get alcohol every day. That's like, how much do you know? Cheap alcohol is like $6 a bottle. I don't know about over there, but you can get also some like $3, so $3. So just knowing like what you're doing, and it's not my job to know what you're doing, but also like if an eviction or something comes up, and I'm thinking too far ahead because I just had my interview, but also knowing like if something comes up, you're able to process that and manage it in a proper way based on the things you know. And it's like just super integrated. And the community of, I got asked a question that was super amazing, and it made me go into detail, where it's just like, I could talk about this all the time, where it's, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where it's going to go, but this is how I feel I can do my due diligence in helping. And this is how I feel I can be a great person and give back, where it's, I'm super positive. I'm super chill. And, I don't take things too seriously, because life is serious. Being broke is serious. Not having transportation is serious. Not being able to establish yourself is serious. And I had been through all of those seriousnesses. Going through breakup is serious. Having people torment you is serious. So it's like, once you go through those serious things, you realize that life is like beautiful, where it's, you shouldn't have fear. You shouldn't even relate to what's actually going on, because you already been there, done that, and now you know better, and you just make wiser choices for you to keep those things. Where it's like, if I wasn't paying my bills because I was getting weed, then what are you supposed to do? You know what I mean? Stop smoking weed until your bills are paid. If you got extra money, then celebrate. Also have that due diligence in your mind, where it's like, I trust myself and I'm going to do the right thing. Have that good vector that's leading you to a new organization, leading you to a new peace in your life. And that's really what I'm doing, where it's like, there's not much I can do. And I feel like I am exhausting everything I can do. Where it's like at the bottom line, I'm just supposed to kind of relax and go with the flow. If we really look at life, we know you have responsibilities. You have these sort of manners where it's you have to be productive. You have to not just make money, but you have to know how to keep money and have it circulated. So I'm going to say if a person who is down, and I'm speaking from personal experience, a person who is down, if they get their mindset together where it's not rushing themselves of this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but more so, why did this happen to me? What can I learn from this experience? This was super traumatic. This was super intense. And this changed my trajectory of life as it is supposed to. It's not supposed to change the person. It's supposed to make the person better by giving them a stronger mindset to actually be rich in life. So, and I mean rich in terms of wealth. I mean rich in terms of in you, where it's this is surrounding you and the people, quality, value, where it's adding to that. It's understanding who you are from the basis of your core. It's breaking down those outer layers that you allowed, where it's I don't need weed, I don't need alcohol. Yes, I drink Coke and I'm going to stop drinking Coke. Where it's like things are just taking processes, where it's like Coke soda is super good, is super amazing. But when you really start to feel and taste it, you realize this shit is gross. And so really just breaking down of who am I? I am removing all of these different attitudes and add linkages to my life. And I'm being able to solidify myself in a different manner. And following that information, you're able to really just take control of your life. Where it's, I've been down before. And I choose to never be down again. And the reason I was down before was I just allowed an individual into my space, where no individual should be in your space unless you are married. Where I'm talking about it from that standpoint of you're not able to give yourself to an individual unless they commit to you from both sides, man committing to woman, woman committing to men. And I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I really don't. And it's not my job to judge you. But that's what I learned in my life. Where it's, if somebody, even a ring nowadays don't make somebody like be married. And I get that. But that's also an outdated and also a new study of people just not getting married. I wonder why. Where it's like people don't have the altitude to get married anymore because either they've been hurt so bad or they just have a fear of trusting, but also knowing what marriage is capable of doing, where it's harder to separate, where it's once you get through that hump in life, you're able to overcome and manage different vectors that you are dealing with. Very similar to being poor. Once you're able to get over that hump in life, you are able to really work through all the kinks of anything else, where it's all you needed was a job in a stable place where you can sleep, shower, and do what you need to do. And some folks, I feel, are given that and they choose not to uphold that, where it's they want to run the streets, they want to think they're grown, they want to have kids mad early, they want to just focus on other altitudes where that's not the standard of religion and your higher expectation and your higher self, where everybody's higher self has a similar goal, and that's really to just be happy, be at peace, and be in love, where you're able to reach these high altitudes of life. And some people's like, no, I don't want to do that. Who doesn't want to be in peace? Somebody that's always angry all the time. Who doesn't want to make money and be an entrepreneur and give back and just support other people, where it's like there's a balance that comes in that's related to poor and folks that are rich and have a quality of life, and those folks who are poor are able to reach a standard where they have a roof over their head that's their own, where they have a vehicle, where they have a job, where they have food. Isn't that being rich in itself? Then you're able to get better employment because you have all those things. Go back to school. You know what I mean? Enhance your mind, enhance your skills. But everybody is giving individuals around them to support them through a difficult process. And if you are taking advantage of those individuals where it's like, I'm just utilizing this place, doing what I want, shit's not going to work out. Been there, done that. And if you are really focused on being the best you that you can be, and you're really working and you're really just like trying to prosper, only good things have to happen from then. Where it's like God will remove everything from your life, give you a whole new mindset of, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z based off of just who I am. You know what I mean? I don't want to do X, Y, and Z based off of this is just going to bring me down. Where it's like drinking and driving. When you're like really a professional, you can't drink and drive. Typical people just call Ubers when they're going out. That's the standard thing to do. But low life people, poor people will make poor choices. Where it's, I have to drink and drive because like I can't afford an Uber, or like I don't think that luxury is given to me, and I choose to make terrible choices. That's not okay. That's really not okay. Even like folks who's like, oh, I'm able to drive under the influence. How and why are you able to drive under the influence of weed? That's just my understanding, where it's like, you know, there's different vectors that's coming into play where folks might have like interlocks on their cars. Folks might actually have like, you know, a breathalyzer standard and also a marijuana standard and some other drugs. Because if you actually got hit by a drunk driver or somebody that was highly medicated that they don't have those standards for and equipment for, alcohol is just widely used to have a good time. What about those who are medicated on prescription drugs? Can't operate a motor vehicle after a certain time. Folks choose not to listen to those things. And a lot of people will get away. A lot of people will get away with those things. And if you are one of those people to get away with them, you have a very like lucky side. Where it's, I'm not one of those people. Literally, if I do something bad, if I like do something where it's like, you know, I'm just going to do this. Cool. I can just do it. I'm not going to get away with that. That's the scary thing. So everybody has to answer to their own standard, and also those choices just make you who you are.